Hey, it's Greg here, and it's been 12 hours, almost 12 hours, and the door I think is cured. So I opened it a couple minutes ago and cleaned the wood stove up. But anyway, we're gonna open it up and take the tape off and just give a test to see how well that gasket is stuck on, just for those that wanted to follow up and see how things worked out. So have a watch here. Looks good to me. Let's pull this tape off and just see what we're working with here. I think, you know, if you haven't tried it before, this masking tape trick is the cat's pajamas, as they say, or cat's meow, or whatever the term is. Alright, so we get all that off. And leave some on there? No. Where's this one? Alright, so all stuck to my hands here. Get rid of that. Sticky. Anyway, that's on there. So now the next step is to light a fairly small fire and just light the fire and let the fire burn out, and that's supposed to cure it. And then once that's, you know, light a small fire, let it burn out, and then once that happens, you can consider it ready to rock, sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to do here, just for those that are interested, okay? I can't think of a few things more painful than watching a person try to light a fire. You're visiting in someone's house and they decide to get their fireplace going and make some nice ambiance and get a fire going, and they clearly have no idea what on earth they're doing. So the simplest way to get a fire going is to put one log on one side, one log on the other side, leave enough space for some sort of you know, something that lights really easily to go in the middle, right? And I mean, I do this on a much bigger scale when I'm lighting an actual fire. This is just a small fire to warm up the wood stove and to help dry the adhesive around here. I got some birch bark here. I mean, you use newspaper, whatever you got. This is what I got today. I went out and found some of the firewood I have that is birch. Most of it's maple, but some of it's birch, and I don't mind that at all because you get the nice birch bark, and nothing burns like birch bark. Even when it's birch bark, will even burn when it's wet, right? I'll keep one of these aside here. Maybe this guy's like a lighter. I'll throw it all in there. Masking tape in there as well. Okay. And I'm using kindling here, but I actually never use kindling to light fires. I watched a lot of these homesteader types with their videos. I'm not a homesteader. I'm a guy with an office job that tries to save money, but I've watched a lot of them do videos on how to cut kindling and stuff, and you don't need kindling. I don't use kindling at all, but anyway, for this little tiny warming fire, I just split out some kindling just for the sake of, you know, having a quick fire. I mean, kindling's great. If you like splitting kindling, more power to you, but you absolutely do not. I think that's one of the things that puts people off running a wood stove is, oh my god, how am I going to split all that kindling? You totally don't need kindling to light fires in a wood stove. And if you want to know more about that, just make a note in the comments, and I'm happy to make a video on lighting fires without kindling, because what a waste of time that is. This is all just this wood here I'm using is spruce. I normally burn hardwood because it's the winter and you need that good hardwood fuel. But this is just sort of a rubbish spruce that I've got kicking around. I'll make a quick fast fire, but then it'll burn out fairly quickly. Because it is around 6 o'clock at night here, and I want this to burn out so I can light a bigger, more serious fire later on. Anyway, let's light this baby up. So I'm just going to take a piece of birch bark here, and I mean, you don't have to do it this way, but if you bend the birch bark When you light it, it won't curl back on you if you sort of make it into like a V like that. It makes a great match. So I got that going, open the draft. Funny, even when I was cleaning the wood stove out, it hasn't been run for 24 hours. I let it, totally cool down for doing this whole gasket thing. There was still hot embers in the wood stove. Unbelievable. Anyway, it looks like that's going. So now I'm going to shut the door and just leave it partially ajar. This wood stove, that is the first draft setting is door not shut. That's the way it's designed. And then there's the draft is here for like controlling the airflow. But you basically leave it with the door ajar until it's at a certain temperature. I've got up there where you can't see. Let's see here. I've got thermometers up here that tell me what temperature the flue is at. And when the flue hits a certain temperature, for me that's around 300 degrees Fahrenheit, or would that be in Celsius? Maybe about 150 Celsius. That's when it's time to actually shut the door. And then there's another temperature where I close the draft a little bit. That's just the system that works. There's a a catalytic combustion component on the top of this thing that when your fire is burning, there's a lot of gases that are created, and some of those gases are actually combustible, but only at a certain heat, and only as they're being drawn over certain kinds of metals. I'm not an expert in this sort of thing, but basically it needs to be, once it reaches a certain heat, you shut the door, and then once it reaches an even higher heat, you can close the draft. And actually the fire looks very different. It almost looks like a propane fire, because all the gases that are coming off the wood, things that ordinarily wouldn't ignite, they just go up the flue. Those things are actually igniting and burning in the wood box, so you're getting more combustion, better combustion out of your fire. But anyway, for right now, we're just working it this way to allow the adhesive to cure. So ordinarily, I wouldn't shut my door at this stage of fire, but because I'm trying to cure the adhesive, I'm gonna, I don't know, it's only gone up to about, it's just shy of 100 Fahrenheit, so it'll be about, just shy of 50 Celsius. It's a bit cool, but I'm gonna shut the door anyway, so that I can have the gasket pushed in the position it's going to be in, so that it can cure sort of the way I want it to cure, not out. But the wood I've got in here is nice and dry, and I've got good kindling, so, and you can tell the fire doesn't seem to have suffered from having the door shut, so it's okay. Ordinarily I'd leave the door open a lot longer to get it really roaring, but ordinarily I'd have way more wood in here. I'd have more hardwood and that sort of stuff, so I'd be using a different system. But anyway, so we got the fire going, and the temperature's rising, and yeah, we're off to the races here. So just a good example of that, and I've seen people make these teepees and things like that. I mean, that's something when you're sitting by the campfire about to sing Kumbaya and so on like that. When you've got a wood stove, you don't make teepees. That's ridiculous. This is the fire lay for me. I've been doing this for quite some time. This is the fire lay you use for a wood stove. If you're interested and you ask me, I'll do another video showing how I do this on a regular sort of weekday, where I put a ridiculous amount of wood in there. I do not use kindling at all, and I get the thing roaring. I basically start a big fire every morning, go to work all day, and when I get home around supper time, I start another big fire, and that's how we do it. So hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.